Big 4-leaf day, 7,000 yards. Let's go. What teamer?
All right, we just wrapped up our warm-up, longer than planned. We went like 5 miles. So now we do our workout. Right now on the plan, we're gonna go 3 by 2 mile descend. So what that'll probably look like is hopefully it'll be like 7:30 pace, 7:15 pace, and then kind of just dump on the last one. And then after that we have 8 by 800. So that'll be a little bit quicker. See how we feel. Super cool to go out here with Teamer. We raced the Ironman together. We're getting ready to race another Ironman together. Right now he's, I think, like 35 days out from Ironman Texas. So we'll get to watch him crush that, another 4-leaf member. And super fun to train with, get together and do these things together. It's number 1 of 3, right around 7-minute pace on the first 2. Gonna see if we got 6:45 in the bag on this one. Yeah. That's 2 done. What are we going at, like 6:15 on the first one?
Yeah.
And then like 6:30, 6:40?
6:20 average for Ronan.
Yeah, so we got one more. Dump it out there, see what we got.
Teamer's putting on the carbon.
Yeah, Teamer's throwing carbons on, so I'm not alone anymore. So now I'm really screwed. Third 200 down, or 2 mile down. I think sub 6 on both. Big one. All right, that's it for our first day of training of the weekend. We ended up right around 13 miles. A lot of tempo. 3 by 2 mile, and then we ended up doing 2 800s. One kind of fast, one recovery. I think highlight of that one was the third 2 mile after all the descends. In my entire life, I've ran 2 miles under 6 minutes ever. And we held sub 6 for 2 miles back to back. So I just doubled the amount of sub 6 miles that I've ran. But super cool day. Teamer came down and trained. We're back in our old college town, hit the college pool. And we got a big bike plan for tomorrow. So we got to go refuel and get ready to run this tomorrow. We're gearing up for Saturday's long ride. We don't really have a set distance planned. Probably going to shoot somewhere between 3 and 4 hours. So yeah, we'll hit around 50 miles, assuming everything goes right. The weather's not super great down here today, so it could start pouring on me. There's a couple of things that could cause this ride to shorten a little bit, but this will be the first ride of the year on the triathlon bike. This is my Cervelo P Series. Love this bike. The bike I did my first full triathlon season on. Bike I did my first Ironman on. Definitely was a lot of bike for me to start. It took me a long time to be able to get comfortable on the bike and use the aero bars. I talked to a lot of my buddies about this a lot. Teamer, who you saw earlier in the video. I had never used the aero bars going to Lake Placid. I rode the whole thing on the drops, and was so uncomfortable on the bike that I think the first time in my entire life that I took a sip from a water bottle while pedaling and while riding was around 60 miles into the Ironman at Lake Placid. So definitely was not comfortable on the bike going into that, but it was something that we had to get done. And I think that'll be huge in dropping a lot of time this year, is just general comfortability on the bike, being able to go into aero, and just not really having to worry about bike handling skills and stuff like that. All right, we're gonna call that one a 25 and wrap this thing up on the trainer. Our feet are cold. You can see bike's a little wet, shoes are a little wet. It's like high 30s here. So I feel the body felt great, but yeah, my feet are cold to the point of pain. So we're going to call that there and wrap this one up on the trainer. So we got Connor on our way to come pick us up right now. All right. We're going to have to wrap this ride up on the trainer. I took a quick clip when I stopped, so it should be in there and it should be explained. Way too cold. Probably, I think I saw like 37 in the car on the way back, which honestly, I was definitely dressed warm enough for that, but I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that it was a little wet out today. So like my feet were soaked, and I think we definitely called it at the right time. So right now I'm going to work on getting the bike back on the trainer, and then we got 90 minutes left and then a quick run off the bike. But really first ride on the tri bike for the season, felt really good. Kind of like I was saying earlier, I haven't always been super comfortable on the tri bike, but definitely feel a lot better today. Was able to jump in that aero pretty comfortably, eat and drink pretty comfortably. So I think just that alone should allow me to drop a ton of time, especially on the bike leg, which has forever been my least comfortable leg, but definitely getting a lot more comfortable there. All right, all set with the bike. That's 3 hours of riding for the day with a brief 20-minute ride home when my feet went numb. Up next, we have 4 to 6 miles running. It's gonna start out with a mile or two easy, depending on how we're feeling. And then we'll probably drop into some threshold miles. One thing that I've been doing a lot this, I guess, training season, or really just post Lake Placid, is focusing on a higher quality on the brick workout, especially on the run portion, because I have my long run tomorrow, which will be 90 minutes to 2 hours of just easy zone 2 running. So I think to be able to get some miles while I'm fatigued and trying to drop it in effort a little bit, I think that'll be huge, especially in the 70.3 when Western Mass comes along.
As per usual, we're taking this thing out way too fast. Hitting the 740 pace right now. The goal was like 830, but off the bike you feel great. .650 pace, heart rate 158. Woo! All right, change of plans. We went like 2.5 miles at like pretty close to 7-minute pace. Now we're going to, not easy, but just cruise it home. Oh, we lost our gel. Third mile was 7:27, I think. But honestly, not too bad after shutting it down about half mile in. Now we're just gonna chill and cruise in until we get home. Eat some dinner, recover. We got a long run tomorrow. That's a wrap on training for today. That was 4.25 miles, an average pace of 7:30. So even with a minor blow up in there, still managed to run pretty good up the bike. So we'll take that. All right, this is episode 2 of the Ironman Lake Placid prep. Thank you guys for sticking along. I know this video is a little all over the place, showing a little bit of everything. Going forward, we definitely want to plan these out a lot more, just to have a list of shots that we want to get and show off a little bit more in depth. We already have a good plan for next week. We're shooting for a full week where we're looking into where we were at this point last season, and we're going to repeat some workouts and kind of see exactly how far we've come in all 3 of the disciplines. Thanks for sticking along for another video. Once again, you can follow me in my Instagram or my TikTok, link down below if you want to see more day-to-day, everyday training stuff. I'll throw my Strava down below as well, just kind of see everything that I'm doing every day. It's probably the most up-to-date of how I'm training. And then if you're interested in joining 4 Leaf Endurance Club, you can click the link in the bio as well. Again, as I said last time, doesn't matter where you are in the country, doesn't matter where you're at in your endurance journey, feel free to join the conversation, and there's absolutely a place for you. And don't forget that we get to do this.